Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Recreational Sniper. Um, this one we're going to talk about why I chose Recreational Sniper and what it means, and also some other updates with the channel, why I deleted several videos off of my channel, and all of that. So, I've had a couple different names for the channel over the past couple of years, and I haven't really found one that I've just totally just love. I hadn't really found one that I just really like that I think fits the bill for everything I do and want to do with this channel. So some some friends and I were talking, and somebody was asking questions about what I do, and I just kind of casually threw it out there. It was like, I'm a recreational sniper, and everybody laughed. They loved it, and then to myself, I thought later, I was like, that's it. That's the name for the channel. That's what it's all about. And here's a few reasons why. Am I a sniper? By by the total definition, no. But the type of shooting I like to do is very sniper-esque. Meaning that when I like to go shooting, I try to develop a way to do calculations and try to develop a way to accurately and reliably, effectively hit a target at any distance on the first shot. I don't want to have to shoot and then make a correction because I missed. And that's where, some sniper craft comes into play. Because that's the whole that's one of the main things is those guys don't want to miss a target. If you're an actual sniper, your main goal is to hit your target with the first shot every time, no matter the distance. And the reason being is, well, if you miss the target, and then the target is, in that world of being a sniper, the target is typically something that's going to move if you shoot at it and miss. So, and you can kind of relate this to hunting, like deer hunting or elk hunting or something. If you shoot at an animal and you miss, but you're close enough that they realize they're being shot at, they're not going to stay there. They're going to move, and oftentimes they're either going to end up further away or closer to you, and you're going to have to readjust your dope and your scope. You're going to have to readjust your elevation and windage and all that. So the idea of being a sniper or a hunter is that you make accurate first shots. You don't want to have to make a shot and see, oh, I missed and hit the dirt 2 feet left and 2 feet low, and I've got to correct for that. You don't want that scenario. You want to make the first shot count, and you want to be able to do that at any distance within the effective range of your rifle system. So that's kind of what I like to do. That's my main goal, is to be able to do that effectively, be able to put first round hits on targets. Even though I'm just target shooting, I never plan to, have to do any of the other stuff. But I like to practice that way because I think it's really cool. I really enjoy doing the math and the science that goes into being able to do that, because it's way more complicated than just taking a shot at a target and then correcting based on how much you missed the target by. trying to calculate and make sure you hit the target with the first shot is a whole other world of stuff there. Also with sniper craft and that sort of thing, there's more to it than just shooting guns. There's more to it than just shooting rifles and being super precise and accurate with it. There's field craft involved, survival stuff. There's, camouflage and concealment and cover involved, and like all sorts of things are involved with the idea of being a sniper, the concept of being a sniper. So that's, and I'm like, more or less I'm kind of into all those things. I'm not really I haven't really been pushing and showing a lot of that stuff, but it's things that are practiced. And it's things that I think in the future I'm going to start doing more of, videos on some fieldcraft type of videos where we go out and set up camp and kind of live off the land primitively and set up shelters and do some hiking, a lot of hiking, backpacking, carrying our gear, and with that, speaking of having to carry a bunch of gear and carry a bunch of weight, we're also going to be talking about physical fitness, because you're not going to carry, like, either one of the rifles that I use for long range. One of them weighs like 17 pounds and the other one's like 22 pounds. So when you talk about carrying like a 20 pound rifle and then carrying 100 rounds of ammunition with you that weighs another 5 or 6 pounds, because they're pretty good sized cartridges, and then carrying your other gear, your support gear, you typically won't bring a chronograph with you, but when I'm going out shooting long range, I bring one with me anyways, just for the purpose of confirming everything, and also gathering more data, because I'm constantly gathering data. But like, you're going to be bringing a rangefinder, you're going to be bringing a spotting scope, you're going to be bringing a weather meter like a Kestrel, you're going to be bringing tools just in case something happens and you need to retorque your scope, or action screws, or the muzzle brake, or anything like that. If anything like that comes and becomes loose, it's going to mess you up. Those things are very critical to keep properly tight all the time. And anything can happen, even if you Loctite the screws and try to add some redundancy in there. Well, if you're out like pretty remote where I like to go shoot at, and it's not just a quick drive back to the house and retorque everything and then go back out. It's like more than an hour one direction, and plus at least an hour on foot. So you're an hour in on foot, and then you got to pack up all your gear, hike an hour back out, get in the car, drive an hour back to the house, retorque everything, and then do it all over again. That's not something I want to be able to do, or I don't want to be in that situation. So I'm going to be bringing tools with me, and then I'm going to be bringing some basic survival gear, a poncho at least, but if I've got my vehicle nearby, I'm going to have poncho liner and that sort of thing. And also at least 1 or 2 days of emergency food, because you never know, even though I'm only an hour, 2 hours out from civilization, you potentially, for whatever reason, have an emergency and you could get stuck out there for a couple days. So have a couple days worth of food and water. So when you start talking about bringing all of that with you and hiking all of that into the mountains with you, it becomes a lot of weight really quickly. You know, my kit instantly went from just a 20-pound rifle and 5 pounds of ammo to now it's about 40 pounds because of all the extra support gear. And then if I'm out filming, I'm going to have bipods, tripods, things to hold the cameras with. So that's just more and more weight and gear. So it's not like, you do need some physical fitness because you need to be able to carry that stuff up and down the mountains. And so that's going to be part of the whole sniper deal too, is physical fitness, field craft, and then obviously marksmanship is a big thing, but it's more than just the gear. It's you too. You need to be mentally and physically tougher because the way I'm planning on doing things is once a month when we go long range shooting, it's going to be like the same weekend every month, and it doesn't matter whether it's like really shitty weather, pouring down rain and stuff, or if it's 30 degrees outside, or if it's 100 degrees outside, we're going to go shoot anyways. And the reasons for that is, well, it gets you used to it. It really gets you into that mindset of, no matter any condition, I can shoot in it, which means a lot because if you're out hunting, and the weather gets crappy, well, you'll have your gear ready. You'll be ready for it. And a lot of people, they only shoot on the most fair weather days, and then when they're out hunting and the weather gets crappy or gets cold, and all of a sudden, like they're missing, like if you practice your hunting and shooting on a, let's say it's 80 degrees outside at the gun range, and you zero your weapon for that temperature, and then, the ammo and gun temperature at 80 degrees, and let's say you're at 500 feet above sea level when you do that, well, you decide you're going to go hunting and you're going to go to a mountainous region or something, and you end up at 2,000 or 3,000 feet above sea level, and all of a sudden it's 25 degrees or 30 degrees up there, something like that. Your bullet impacts are going to be completely different, way off compared to where they were. Your vertical is going to be way different, and chances are you're going to miss unless you have the dope in your, ready to go. Unless you have the dope ready to go in a dope book or a quick reference drop chart like I do, to where it says, oh, at 30 degrees my muzzle velocity is this, and the reason why I know that is because I went out and shot when it was 30 degrees, and that's one thing, like your muzzle velocity and temperature don't change due to altitude. They just change due to, your muzzle velocity doesn't change due to altitude. It only changes due to ammunition and environmental temperature. So it's really important to record muzzle velocities in different temperature brackets. You can, as long as you do that part correctly, it makes life a lot easier when you need to correct your dope or you need to correct your calculation for altitude based on barometric pressure. It's a lot easier to do that if you know what your ammo is running at each temperature bracket. So I'm going to get more into that on another video, but with recreational sniper, we're going to be focusing on marksmanship at long range, the main thing is hitting first round impacts on targets, because that's really important to me. Whether I'm ever going to have to do that or need that skill in a emergency real life scenario or anything, hopefully not, but the world's getting crazier, so you never know. In the area I live in, it's very, very highly unlikely that I'm going to need to actually shoot a mile, but I want to know that I can do it, be capable of it. And then we're going to be doing some fieldcraft stuff, some survival stuff, and also we're going to dive into the mathematics, and I'm going to really try to teach you guys how to calculate for first round impacts or first round hits on target, because that's something that not very many people are teaching how to do to the public. Tiborosaurus Rex, the Rex Reviews guy, I don't personally know him, but he did have a series on YouTube called Sniper 101, which is all about the marksmanship and the math part of it. Gear selection, rifle selection, all that stuff. He went super in depth in how to actually calculate everything, and he even provided calc forms so that you could calculate all this stuff out by hand instead of having a ballistic app. He did it old school and knew how to do it old school before there was ballistic calculators out there, before there was an app on your phone that could calculate, which is super cool. But since YouTube is really kind of starting to get kind of strict on people, he ended up removing that whole series. It was 101 videos on Snipercraft, but he removed all that, put it on his Patreon account. And I really totally believe that if anyone is interested in making, real world first round impacts on targets at any distance, I really think that you should watch that series, that Sniper 101 series. But unfortunately, you're going to have to go and pay his whatever $5 a month it is for his Patreon account to be able to watch it. But and speaking of YouTube cutting down on gun tubers and stuff, you'll notice if you look back at my older videos, you'll notice I used to have like 140 something videos up, and now it's like 120-ish. And the reason for that is I went through and got rid of all of my videos where I was actually showing how to reload ammunition, because YouTube has like a zero tolerance policy on manufacturing or remanufacturing ammunition. And even bullet casting. The only video they've ever deleted of mine said that violated their community standards was a video on bullet casting. And so I ended up just going ahead yesterday, and I went through and removed all the videos that had some really in-depth information on ammunition reloading and components and everything. Now, I'm not saying I'm not going to do videos on equipment and bullets and gunpowder and stuff, but I'll do videos talking in depth about them. But I'm not going to do videos where I actually show step-by-step processes of reloading anymore. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do, but I'm thinking about setting up a website where there's a paywall and we can have a discussion area for that. And the paywall, it's not going to be much, but it will be it's going to be there just to help me out, because all this stuff is expensive, and I don't want to work 2 jobs the rest of my life to be able to pay for my hobby, and raise my family, So, with that being said, I want you guys to kind of help out the rest of us, the gun tubers out there. I want y'all to like, share, and subscribe, and even comment. If you can do that, it will show YouTube that this type of stuff matters, that people like it, and people want to see it. Because if you just watch it and skip, past it, you know, YouTube basically is like, okay, well, that wasn't an interesting video, not going to promote it, don't care about it. But if you like it, share it, comment on it, and subscribe to the channel, then it shows YouTube that you care about it, and that, you know, and that's going to help their algorithm or whatever it is. So currently, the past 2 years of doing this, I don't make any money doing these videos at all, so all the information I'm sharing with you is totally free, and it's not costing anybody any money but me. It's costing me money, so just, you know, think about that. I may get some t-shirts made if you guys want to buy a t-shirt to help out the whole thing. You know, you're helping me out and you get a t-shirt, so that's what I'm going to try to do, and I'm going to try not to do them too expensive. Some people charge like $30 for a t-shirt with a logo on it, and I really think that's a little bit insane, especially if they're just plain cotton t-shirts. I'm going to try to, if I get to that point, I'm going to try to do them for like somewhere between 15 and 20 bucks. I'm not trying to sell a $30 t-shirt and make 25 bucks off of every t-shirt I sell, because I used to print t-shirts. I know how much it costs to make them, and that's kind of not right. But anyways, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time in the next video.